Hello friends and Happy New Year! Nothing, to my mind, beats trying out new skincare makeup products that work especially well for those of us who are older, and then being able to share them with you. And that's exactly what we'll be doing today. First, we'll focus on 3 skincare products, and then I'll demonstrate some of the new makeup that I've tried that I'm also very excited about sharing with you today. Before we get started, I want to extend a special welcome to those of you who might be seeing this channel for the very first time, and to welcome back those of you who are returning. As a professional working makeup artist and a former teacher, I've always loved sharing makeup tips and techniques as well as product information that works best for us now through individual consultations, either in person or through Zoom, as well as classes. For 6 years, I taught in-person classes and often had class members say, you should really be teaching this information on YouTube so you can help more older women. And it was those wonderfully kind and supportive comments that really encouraged me to launch this YouTube channel 2 years ago. So if you'd like to learn makeup tips, techniques, and product information that is especially relevant to those of us with more mature skin, I do hope you'll subscribe to this channel before you leave today. And I thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. Now, on to some really good new skincare and makeup discoveries. At least these are products that are new to me. The first skincare product is one from Kiehl's. It's their Clearly Corrective Dark Spot Solution. Now, this product was one of 2 samples that I was eligible to receive when I placed my November Sephora sale order. I have one especially large age spot on my upper left cheek, so that's always a good place to test out a product like this. I applied this product morning and night, and after 8 days, I did begin to see a definite reduction in the color of this age spot. And here's what this sample product looks like. The other sample I got during the sale was this one from Ole Henriksen called Glow 2 OH Dark Spot Toner. Once I run out of the Kiehl's product, which will probably be in just a couple of days, I'll be giving this one a try and will let you know how it works in a subsequent video. If any of you have tried either of these products or any similar products for age spots, I hope you'll let us know in the comments section below the name of the product you tried and what your thoughts were about that product. I have to confess that I'm pretty old school when it comes to skincare products, especially skincare masks and patches. So I've really never been very inclined to experiment with these types of products. But when Michelle from Depology contacted me and shared some information about 2 of their products, I have to admit I was definitely curious and said I'd be glad to give them a try. The 2 products from Depology are their Derma Face Sculpting Mask and their Deep Care Microneedle Patches. So first, let me share with you a little about each of these products, then I'll demonstrate how they work and the results that I got from using them. The Derma Face Sculpting Mask was developed to help firm and sculpt the face, specifically to tighten the jawline and visibly lift and firm the jowls and chin area. The suggested use is every 2 to 3 days for 20 to 30 minutes. The website information says that the results are immediate and will improve with consistent use. The mask is made with moisturizing ingredients which replenish the skin with collagen and vitamin E, which help promote blood circulation and restore elasticity. So now, let me go to some earlier video that I shot where I'll share how to use the mask and some before and after results. As you can probably tell from my voice, it's very early in the morning, and I'm going to go ahead and apply the Depology Derma Face Sculpting Mask, and we'll see how it looks in about 30 minutes. This is what the box looks like. On the back, there are easy directions, and the mask comes in a package like this. And what's handy is that on the back of the package, there are also directions. So this is what the mask looks like when you pull it out, and then you gently apply it to underneath your lip area, your chin, your jawline, and then loop it over your ears. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then you make sure that everything is flattened out and tucked in under the chin. And there you have it. I'm going to keep it on for 30 minutes and then I'll be back and we can look at the results. All right, I've had the Dermaface Sculpting Mask on for 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take it off and see what the results look like. Okay, let's take a look at both sides of my face, the jawline and the chin. I definitely can feel it's tighter. It also feels wonderfully soft and smooth. In fact, when I was wearing the mask, I was thinking, this is really comforting feeling. I felt really protected and it felt wonderfully good on the skin. That's because of all the terrific hydrating ingredients in it. So I am really happy with the results after wearing this mask for 30 minutes. The purpose of the Deep Care Microneedle patches is to reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles while nourishing and plumping the skin. What's innovative is the use of what is called microdart technology. Each of the 1,000 microdarts in each patch is infused with 30 milligrams of Deep Care Plus serum. The microdarts penetrate deep into the skin and deliver the solution to the core of the skin. A lot of products are ineffective because the dead cell layer above the dermis prevents the products from entering the skin where they can work most effectively. The delivery system of these patches allows hyaluronic acid and a couple of other very important ingredients to be released into the skin without pain or discomfort. The recommended use is every 2 to 3 days, and the patches can be applied anywhere on the face. But the website information does say that the patches are most effective for the under eye area and the smile lines. They should be kept on for a minimum of 4 hours, but best results occur if they're left on overnight. Now, let's take a look at some video that I took earlier, which includes some before and after comparisons with these patches. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the Depology Deep Care Microneedle patches, but before I do, I want to do a close-up of the areas where I'm going to be applying these patches so we can do a before and after. Let's take a close-up under the eye area, also the nasal labial folds, and also this area from the mouth down to the chin. This is how these patches come in this cardboard box. Inside you'll find the packets that contain the pouches. There are 2 in each of these pouches. So the directions are to apply these to clean, dry skin, and then you remove the backing from each of the microneedle patches, making sure not to touch the microneedles on the back. Then you apply the patches and press very gently to make sure there's an even application all the way across. On this packet, it says to leave the patches on for 2 hours at least, and the best results come from leaving them on overnight. I'm going to go ahead and apply them. I'm not going to leave them on overnight, but I am going to leave them on for quite a bit longer than 2 hours, and we'll see what happens. 2 patches come in this little plastic container. So I've peeled off one of the patches, and I'm going to apply the first 2 under my eyes. And I'm going to press them in. The next 2 I'm going to apply in the nasal labial fold, but I'm going to go slightly down below my mouth. Okay, I have the patches applied, and we'll wait and see what happens after a few hours of wear. Hello. Well, it's been almost 7 hours since I applied the patches, so it's time to take them off and see how things look. So I'm going to remove the ones here first, gently, as gently as I can. So there definitely is some adhesive that needs to be washed off, but I think you can see quite a big difference in how much less pronounced those nasal labial folds are, and down into this area. And certainly can see a difference in this eye area, especially in this outer corner where I tend to have quite a few smile lines. Certainly these nasal labial folds look softer, and certainly these lines up here look quite a bit softer as well. So I'm pretty happy with these results. However, I must say it probably wasn't the wisest thing to actually put these on the nasal labial fold and then try to eat dinner with them on the fold. It doesn't work quite as well as I might have hoped it would. So just a bit of warning in advance, probably best not to put these on the nasal labial folds if you're going to be eating anytime soon. But I'm very, very happy with how these turned out, and I definitely will be using them again. Now we'll move on to makeup. I've prepped my skin and also filled in my eyebrows, as I'm sure you can tell, with a product from Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. It's called the Shape and Fill Brow Duo, and here's what it looks like. I tried both the soft brown and taupe shades, and what worked best for me was the taupe shade because I have very ashy brown brows, and the soft brown had just a little too much red in it, which made it a little bit too warm for my brows. The product itself is a little stiffer and less powdery than some eyebrow products, which means it did take me a little bit longer to fill in my brows. But I do love having two different shades to work with, a lighter and a darker version, as you saw. But what I like most about this eyebrow product is that it's perfect for travel because of the ingenious built-in applicator brush. There's a small indentation at the bottom of the case, and when you pull it out, it turns out to be a little applicator brush. Let me show you. I think you may be able to see that little indentation at the end of the case. And when I put my fingernail in it and pull it out, it becomes this applicator brush. And when you want to put it away, you simply push it back in, click it into place, and it's ready to go. The next product is a combination moisturizer and face primer. It's Bobbi Brown's Vitamin Enriched Face Base. What I most love about it is that it's multitasking because it works as both a moisturizer and a primer for normal to dry skin. It nourishes, it plumps, and it preps the skin with hydration to improve the look of the skin for foundation, which is applied afterwards. It contains vitamins B, C, and E+, which is a complex of hyaluronic acid, squalene, and shea butter. Am I getting any better at saying hyaluronic? I don't think so. It's also very lightweight, fast absorbing, and you need to use very little. There's a slight grapefruit and geranium scent, but I frankly didn't notice it all that much. I like to rub it between my fingers and then apply it to the skin afterwards. So I'm taking just a small amount, rubbing it between my fingers, and then applying. And it feels really good on the face. By rubbing it like this, it warms the product up and it makes it a little bit easier to apply. And actually, I kind of like this scent. It's very light. For years, my go-to eye primer has been Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Eden. But I was really intrigued by this relatively new eye primer product from makeup artist Mario Dedivanovic called Master Eye Prep and Set. Before I put it on, I have to give a big thanks to my daughter for loaning me her Makeup by Mario products so I can give them a try and share the whole process with you. The Master Eye Prep and Set is an eye primer which comes in light, medium, and deep. Each product includes 2 creams, a lighter and a darker color, so the color can be customized. And it also contains a translucent powder, which can be applied over the cream if you wish to do so. I'm going to be using the shade Light, and I'm going to be using the lightest color. The powder, as you can see, is at the bottom of the case. I'm going to apply this over my entire lid area from the lash area all the way up to the eyebrow. And as you can see, it has a really nice brightening effect, not too much. And of course, if your skin were a little deeper than mine, you could add a little bit of the deeper color to really create the shade that's perfect for you. I think you can see that this does cover up any discoloration on the eyelids. Let me show you up close. This is the eye with the Makeup by Mario primer. So let me get it even by applying it on the other eye. Goes on really nice and easily because it's so creamy, and yet it's thick enough to really stay in place and grip onto that eyeshadow so it stays in place without creasing or smudging. I really do like this product. Then I'm taking a brush and I'm applying a little bit of the translucent powder, and I'm doing this because it makes the eyeshadow a little bit easier to apply. If you don't apply powder, it allows the eyeshadow to grip a little bit more strongly to the eyes, and usually that means you'll get a brighter pigment. Later, I'm going to be using 3 other face products from the Makeup by Mario line. And since Mario has now come out with a full line of makeup products, except for foundation and concealer, I'll be doing a full video with all of his new products at a future date. So be on the lookout for that video in the weeks ahead. The next product is one that I've had on my wish list for well over a year and a half, and so I'm absolutely thrilled to have it. It's Natasha Denona's Bobbi palette, which is an all-neutral 15-pan palette. And one of the wonderful things about the Natasha Denona palettes is the holes in the back. What's wonderful about this is it allows you to push out the eyeshadows with something like a paper clip or some other tool, and then you can rearrange the palette or create a whole new palette in a magnetic palette. Since this palette was 30% off on the Natasha Denona website on Black Friday, I couldn't resist. To me, this is the perfect neutral palette since the colors range from very light to very dark, and it includes warm, cool, and neutral colors. The colors include mauves, burgundies, and browns, as well as warm gray and black. So this palette really covers all the bases. But of course, those of you who watch my channel probably know of my love of colorful eyeshadow, and I couldn't pass up one of her more colorful palettes that I've also had my eye on. It's her Zendo palette. And of course, there's no way to avoid fingerprints on the outside of these palettes. And here's the beautiful color story inside. I have absolutely no idea of what kind of look I'm going to create using these 2 palettes together, but let's go ahead and plunge in. I'm going to put this lightest color called Tusk over the entire eyelid area. For the transition shade, I'm going to use Freckle. Freckle is more of a neutral to cool undertone. I'm going to start here and just work it into that crease area and above my crease area. Just gradually building up some color. And of course, one of the things that's so amazing about Natasha Denona eyeshadows is that they just glide on so beautifully. Pretty much blend themselves. That's why they're great for older eyes, because you really don't have to worry about having to work a great deal with them to get them to look as they should. Then I'm going to take this darker shade called Cocoa and put that on the outer edge of the lid and the outer edge of the crease area. Just deepening it up a little bit in this area. I'm using a Real Techniques brush, which unfortunately I don't think they make anymore. It's called an Instapot brush, and what I love about it is angled. You can turn it up like this and use it to fill in the crease area here. I really like it. We're just stamping it in place at the moment, and then we'll do some more blending shortly. I just like to blend up. That way I can sort of graduate the color up toward my brows. Got a little bit more color on the other eye, so I'm going to make them match here. And then the important thing to do if you have hooded eyes like I do is to tilt your head back and look in the mirror and see if the eyeshadow looks like it's even on both eyes. And I'm going to do a little bit more light blending. As you can see, I'm holding the brush toward the bottom, and that gives me a much lighter hand. Okay, I think we're done with this palette, and we're now going to move to the Zendo palette. Since I love blue, and since there is a touch of blue in the center of the flowers on my blouse, I'm going to go ahead and add just a touch of this blue to the outer edge of my crease and to the outer area of my lid. I don't have my glasses, but I think it's called Mantra. This color is actually more of a blue-green. It's kind of a teal color. And so I'm going to use just the upper edge of this to apply it. This is that Real Techniques brush, which is angled. Then I'm flipping it around and using this side to go on the outer part of the lid. Apply some to this eye. And then flip it around and put it into the crease area. Right, looks like we need to do some blending. Just blend it in slightly. Just so you see a touch of that blue. It's a little deeper and higher on this side, so I'm going to add a little bit to this eye. Oh, such a pretty color, and it just is blending in effortlessly. Now I'm back into a color from the Bobbi palette. It's called Tusk. It was the earliest color that we used on our lids. And I'm just blending it slightly above this color. So I've finished my eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my eye area, add some foundation and concealer and lipstick, and I'll be right back to finish my face. Now that my face makeup is on, it's time to dip into the 3 other Makeup by Mario products I'm loving. His contour, his blush, and his highlighter. His soft sculpt shaping stick, that's hard to say, comes in 6 shades: light, light medium, medium, medium dark, dark, and deep dark. I'd most likely use the light medium shade, but since I don't have that particular one, I'm going to combine the light and the medium shades to get the color that I want. Here are the swatches of these 2 colors, the light and the medium. Mario has also included a brush on the other end of the sculpting sticks, which he's also done with the stick blushes as well. But there is, unfortunately, a bit of a drawback with these brushes. They're beautifully soft and dense, but the bristles flare out ever so slightly, which makes it very difficult to put the cap back on without some of the brush bristles splaying out over the outer edge of the cap. So it usually takes a few attempts to get the cap back on without harming the bristles. So I'm going to go ahead and use my own brushes since these are my daughter's products and I definitely don't want to take a chance on damaging any of the brushes. What I look for in a stick product like this is the right color tone as well as a formula that allows the product to glide on very easily. These are really nice neutral colors that are wonderfully easy to apply. What I like to do to get the softest application is to put some of the product on the back of my hand and then pick up the color with a brush and tap it on. This application method ensures that the color won't be too strong and that it will be very easy to blend in. So I put both of these colors on the back of my hand and now I'm going to pick them up with my brush. And I'm going to throw my brush, not meaning to, and I'm going to start at the temple area and bring it down under my cheekbone, just to about here. And that is really the perfect color. Just going to tap on a little bit more. And you always want to bring this color up. Starting at my temple, going under my cheekbones, and then I'm going to brush it up. And then under the jawline, a little bit on this area, and then blend it in really thoroughly. And you want to brush down on this part. And that just gives a little bit more definition to the face because when we put foundation on, we're evening out the skin tone, but we're also evening out all the planes on our face. By adding contour, we're giving a little bit more dimension so the cheekbones pop out and the area under the cheekbones really recedes, and that gives a little bit more emphasis to the cheekbones. The blush sticks also come in 6 different colors and create a lovely dewy finish. The colors are Dusty Rose, Earthy Pink, Pale Petal, Soft Coral, and Raspberry. Oh, and there's one more, Plumberry. I'm going to combine the Pale Petal with the Earthy Pink and use a little bit different of an application technique this time around. And by the way, here's what the brushes look like that come in both the blush sticks and in the shaping sticks. Pale Petal is on top and Earthy Pink is below it. So because these are so creamy, I'm going to try just dotting them on. And I'm putting them in the center of my cheekbone. That is the lightest color, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the earthy pink over it. Then I'm just going to basically pat it into place. And that works really well because these are sheer enough that they easily blend in. So you can put them directly on the cheeks as long as you just put a tiny little bit and then pat it on. That way it doesn't disturb the makeup underneath. I do like combining both of those colors. And let's do the other side. Again, just dotting a little bit on. And then taking my blush brush and just patting it in. And some hairs of the brush are coming out. Not a good look. And I'm going to take my makeup sponge that's damp, and I'm just going around the edges to make sure there are no harsh lines at all. And it really blends in perfectly. Plus, I love the feel of the damp sponge on my face. The Master Secret Glow Highlighter, which is called Expensive, is a really special product. It's a translucent balm that gives a dewy glass-like glow. It's not the least bit sticky, it stays in place, which many other highlighters with similar formulas really don't, and it doesn't disturb the makeup underneath. It can also be applied to the eyes or the lips. I'm going to go ahead and just apply it to the upper cheekbone area and make sure to avoid any fine lines since I definitely don't want to highlight those. And here's what the Master Secret Glow looks like. I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to dot it on. I love this kind of highlighter because it just gives a subtle, soft glow. It doesn't look glittery, it doesn't look really shimmery, so that when you turn your face and light hits it, you can see a really soft, nice highlight. I think you can see what a difference that makes. I'm going to go ahead and finish up by applying my Laura Mercier translucent powder down my T-zone. I'm also going to be applying my Hourglass Ambient Light powder, bronzer, and blush, which I'll place lightly over the cream products. Then I'm going to complete my makeup by tapping over my entire face with a slightly damp makeup sponge to ensure that everything blends in well. I love this powder. It's so finely milled and it just looks beautiful on the face. That definitely helps my T-zone. Then I'm taking the lightest color in the middle of the top and I'm going to put that all over my face just to blend everything in. Then I'm going to put a little bit of this powder bronzer over my Makeup by Mario product. Just a little bit and a little bit here. Then I'm taking the two bottom blushes and applying a little bit of that over the middle of my cheekbones. Just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to use my makeup sponge and go over everything, just to make sure everything works together. Now we have the finished look. I truly love all of these products, but my special favorites are the Depology Skincare Mask and Patches, the Natasha Denona Eyeshadows, which probably doesn't surprise any of you, and the Eye Primer Sculpting Stick and Highlighter from Makeup by Mario. If you've tried any of these products, I do hope you'll let us know your thoughts about them in the comments section below. And don't forget to drop me a line at boomerandbeyondbeauty@gmail.com to let me know if you'd like to receive my weekly newsletter. Until next week, I wish you much health and happiness and hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.